Do you hear me? Oh, perfect. Hi to everybody. My name is Marco. This is Yemi, and we are going to show you some examples of our recent work and take you through our creative process, if I can call it like that. Uh, do you have a? You have a clicker. Okay,
Go for it.
perfect. JAD Productions is a multicultural, pretty creative, pretty diverse creative agency, as you can see, based in Prague and led by our creative leader, Yemi. Uh, we are actually our structure is made up of three independent divisions. They're called JAD Events, JAD People, and JAD Digital. Here you can see that actually they are connected below in the project called Entertainment and Influencer Marketing, but I'm going to talk about it a little more afterwards. This means JAD is actually able and can cover a pretty wide range of products, such as live shows, conferences, music videos, product launches, and commercials. We won last year a couple of awards on Bear World Live Marketing Awards in Coimbra in Portugal, and it's one of the main reasons why we are here today. Here are just little sneak peeks from our creative environment that we work in Prague. And here we go. Does it work? Yeah. Here we go with a little sneak peek actually from our beach office in Spain. We are trying every year to go somewhere else to just gather new inspiration from people and new environment. So yeah, that's it. And here you will see a bit of our history focused on artist movement. And after this video, Yami will take part with his, let's say, future of creativity. Perfect.
Hello. So, it's a beautiful place here. I'm very happy to be back in Netherlands. It creates a very big part of my life. It was my first country where I boarded a plane and first country where I have exchange in the family. So it was very big for me when I was young. And when it was not so free in the Czech Republic, but it was already very free in the Netherlands, so it was inspiring for me. So I'm happy to be back. Creativity has no borders. When we first won our first award as event agency, we didn't call ourselves event agency. We just went into the field, created conference, and it happened to be the best conference in Europe. So creativity, I think, is a very source for everybody of us in whatever we do. We can be creative in art, but we also can be creative in solutions, and creative in campaigns, creative in budget making, creative in everything. And for these next 10 minutes, I will try to show you a little bit of where the creativity comes from, so it can also be awakened inside of you, and then we will show you how we apply it through our case studies. So, this is something we call future of creativity. Why? Because, as you know, lots of AI and lots of automated processes are going to be taken away from us. And the things that will stay with us will be, I think, two. in years will be left. It is empathy, because I think robots can be empathic, and it is creativity, because only we can create certain things, certain complex. Of course, robots can already make a painting and so on, but I'm thinking about creativity on a different level. So, who of you think that you are creative? Let me look at you. Go, 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 don't be shy. Don't be shy, be proud, creative. Okay. Okay, thank you. So, most of the time, about 20% people say they think they're creative, and the rest, no. Of course, there is creativity, there is also creators, and there is also the process of creation. So, who of you think that is so creative that you build your business on it, you create something new that has never been seen before, you're like a creative generator? Who is that guy or girl? Okay. There is one in the back. There is anybody else? 1, 2. No woman here? Oh, there. Okay, I'm going for you because you're gonna have a stage later. I know that already, but you did not wait. I break my microphone. So I want to know before I come to you. I want to know what you created. Whatever. It can be anything. Yeah. This is not a test. What you created? When was it? Where was it? People like it or not? Tell me, what's your name?
My name is Kim.
Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hi, and I'm the owner of Boost Event Design, and what we do is the design of events, and I created a company.
Nice. How many people are you?
Around 40 full-time.
So what do you think on this creation is the most difficult? I don't mean to run it. I'm not speaking about operation. I'm speaking about the idea that makes it unique, that makes it different, that makes it new.
Keep your staff happy so they can shine and design and create.
So environment.
And be creative.
Environment, can you say?
Yeah.
Okay, have the right environment for everybody to get their best possible opportunities to perform.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Kim. Okay, so I don't know, many of you who didn't raise your hand, you might think you're not creative. I want to prove you wrong. Because if there is something that humankind is, that is creativity. That is creative. But we were taught otherwise. In the last 100 years, it was not good to create because we needed to perform. We needed to deliver. We needed to have time structure that we can deliver for sure. But in creative realm, you need to be able to come up with something new, experiment, go a little bit off the side, try different things. But if you want to do that, you need to have 3 things. You need to be generous to yourself and to the others with time. You need to be brave enough to say, hey, I have an idea that has never been seen before, or can you help me with something, to collaborate. You need to be also brave, and you need to be curious. And why curious? You need to be curious like a child. Why? You'll see that in a little while. But before that, I want to show you some examples of great creators in our history. Creators are not only artists. They can be politicians like Winston Churchill. They can be like Bertha Benz, who went the longest distance in a car, the wife of Benz. There can be Martin Luther King, like activist. It can be also a creator. There can be also a multidisciplinary creator, who is, for example, Leonardo da Vinci. And the reason why I'm showing you this guy is not because he created Mona Lisa or because his paintings are the most expensive. I'm showing it to you to understand something that is very important today again. And that is how this artist laid or paved a way that was cross different disciplines, from art to science to medical science to technical and engineering and to theology and so on and so on. Who would guess? How many professions do you think this guy had? Who think less than 10? Who think more than 20? Okay, let's see it. So imagine, and that time was not, it was against him, right? It was people think that he's lunatic, like why? You need to do one thing and do it right, have a deep knowledge. And this is something that resonates with today again, because the deep knowledge is not so much important. Important is to understand the association, to have a context of how one profession can be implemented in the other. Yeah? And what do they have in common? So now into our own creativity. What happens to it as we grow? What do you think that happens to it? Sorry? We lose it. What else do you think happens? And don't be afraid, no answer is wrong.
We're more afraid to...
We get more and more scared to be creative. We are losing it. What else? Less time to create? Definitely, because when we are young, we have more time, and then they squeeze us, and we have less and less time. So this is true. So when you go to school, it goes up, you experiment, you are happy, but then you go to job, you get first frustrations, and the system squeeze you, and you have to fall in line and just do repeat, deliver, execute, and it goes down. You know, it's kind of sad. And I think this is the past. I think this is the domestication. Don't cry. It's not that sad, yeah? It's gonna go up again, I promise. So that was the domestication age. And I think we are coming into a different age, into an age where we need to experiment again, where we need to again try things for the first time, like when we were children. Now let's see what happens to creativity from the beginning of our lives, but from a slightly different perspective. First, when we are born, we have infinite amount of opportunities. We have like a universe of possibilities where we want to go. But then we start to think too much. We start to think what we think we are. We start to think what we want to be. We think what we think we should be. Then we think what others think we are. Then we think what others want us to be, and then we think what others think we should be, and so on, and so on, and so on. And the layers just keep growing and growing. I call this onion concept. Yeah? So, and what happens when you peel off all that onion? There is nothing. You know, there's nothing inside. So there's no need to look for something, because that something was always there. Now, why I'm showing you this and why this is so important for creativity? Because there is only one thing that's original about you, and that is the core. That is your DNA, that is your heritage, that is what you come into the game with. Everything else is social concepts, layers and layers that are added through the time. And depending on how much importance we give to those layers, we distance ourselves from that core. And that's why when people ask me, where do you get your inspiration? It's traveling. And why? Because when you travel, this social concept, these society expectations, they are trembled. They are shaken. Because other people in Bali or in New Zealand, they don't expect from you the same thing that you are expected here. So when this whole thing trembles and you are a little bit bored on the beach somewhere, sometimes you connect again to your core, to your creative core. And that is very important. Now, what does this all has to do with events and with our profession and with our productions? Well, it's about this generation. You know, we live in an exponential era. You know that millennials are creating the biggest force, working force today. By year 2025, they will represent over 75% of all working force in the United States. And what we know about them, let me see your hands. Who was born between 1980 and 2000? Woo! Okay, so you are all like a millennial. Some of you are the old millennials, some of you are younger millennials. It doesn't matter. I'm an old one, yeah, so don't be offended. So let us share something about us. You know, we are bored. We are super bored. We don't keep attention for more than 15 seconds. We never unplug because multitasking is our human right. We don't talk to each other. We mostly communicate with those who are not in the room. And we are very, very stressed when we have to face criticism. We avoid criticism of others and also of ourselves. We are not only called millennials, but also fragile generation. And this is what connects this topic to our professions. Everything that we do have been changed through the social expectations and through these okay, this is the next slide, never mind, don't watch, was changed. And because the short attention span is shorter, because the generation has different expectations, it's important to take it in consideration, to take it in context. When later on we will describe to you the Mercedes-Benz campaign, this is the work, this is the data we work with before making that campaign. So it makes sense, maybe not now, but hopefully by the end of this session it will. And while those circles were created behind my back, I was supposed to tell you that there is two worlds. One is the real one, other one is the digital, and that we are living in an era when we can share and work on different things across vast distances, and that what will happen when this digital world is going to get full, that they are going to integrate, and then when they integrate, it's going to be called hyper reality. And I want to show you a little example of hyper reality, because that is going to be your reality as well as mine.
Great. Nice. Great.
Más tarde. Apúrate si quieres una buena calificación.
Voy lo más rápido que puedo.
¿Has pensado en correr? Es saludable y eficiente.
Seguro que no hay más trabajos disponibles. Yo estudié para ser profesora y estoy haciendo mercados.
Y además puedes quedarte con los puntos de fidelización. Eres una monje afortunada. Tienes que confiar en la aplicación. ¿Te sientes inspirada? Gracias. Chao.
¿Quién soy yo? No, eso no es lo que quiero decir. ¿Para dónde voy? No. Puedo volver a empezar. Olvídalo.
Estoy presente ahora. Y me amo. Estoy libre de mi ira. Estoy libre de mi tristeza. El amor es mi eternidad.
Habla español.
Adiós.
Hola. Me llamo María.
What do you think? It's like scary, no? It's like, no way. I hope I will have enough money to switch that commercials off, to switch off all those marketers who have filled in this world with that filthy advertising. No, because you know, the trend of today is pay not to see advertising. You're aware of it, right? It generated Netflix, it generated YouTube music, and so many, you know. Today, it's funny, we are willing to spend money not to see this. Now imagine right now we are looking into devices which are very small, like this. You know, I call it like it's a door into the digital world. We're trying to like push ourselves in, but as we're trying, the Silicon Valley, they're also trying. Very soon it's gonna be like moved, and then it's gonna be all around. And whether it's gonna be like this or something else, we are gonna decide about that. So just a nice peek into the future. This is actually 4 years old video. Yeah, so it's not, you know, it's not like a super big future. And before we go into like more concrete stuff, I want to just touch on the exponential growth. Everybody in the room, I'm sure not everybody knows what exponential growth means. So who knows what it means? Okay. I consider everybody else doesn't. So just to have an idea, so the long line is what's expected. We normally expect to have growth that is linear. So let's say that we are gonna grow our budget every year by 10%. It's gonna go linear. But exponential means what's the digital world doing, or what the technology growth is doing. So the time between inventions like wheel and steam machine was, you know, there was certain time between it, then electricity and lamps and internet and so on. And the time of the huge changes are, the time between the big changes in society is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So that's why it feels like the time is speeding up and it's being faster and faster. And why I'm saying it, because many companies are trying to implement innovation in their process. But innovation still is not fast enough to lay the same curve as an exponential growth. So creation, that is the one. I can recommend a book that is called 0 to 1 from Thiel. Anybody knows? Anybody knows? Thiel is the founder of PayPal. He's a really like genius, and he wrote a book that today, if you run business or if you have business, is really something that you should read. 0 to 1. Why 0 to 1? Because innovation is making a bicycle into or motorbike into a car. Creation is making a plane. You can't just follow the same. You need to bring some new things. And as these new inventions are being combined, that's what makes exponential growth to go this way. So right now we are right there, and that's why the speed of change is just going to grow, and it's going to be more and more. And before, because now we are like in half of our time, half time, I have one more video, and that is party. And it's a party that you could experience at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you wouldn't even have to get out of your home. It's a party that you experience online, either on your monitor or in a virtual reality. This party was created by a DJ called Marshmello. Who knows Marshmello? Wow, good, I'm getting better and better. So, anybody heard about this party? You did. Help me, no? Anybody? You did. Good. Okay, so guess how many visitors went to this party? Of course, you can guess, but it was a huge number. It was 10 million people. 10 million people. So that's a success for event, no? It's an event. It went for 10 million people. Now, interesting things about it. 2 things that I want to point out before playing it to you. One, they have created rooms and limited amount of people in each room, so it doesn't feel so anonymous. So when you're there, it's not like you are partying with 10 million people and you're gonna see each of them once, and then for the rest of the night, you're not gonna be able to see them. And they want to create interactions. They want people to remember what did you dress, what kind of shoes you have, or what kind of rocket launcher do you hold. And this is one. And 2, because it's closely connected to sales of avatar costuming, weapons, and accessories. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars spent every day for clothing in this space.
Check this out.
Let me see you move it.
Okay, so what do you think? Next time we meet there, yeah? I'm not gonna fly here anymore. No, so these are just some examples. I hope it can open up your mind. So next time when you think like, oh no, this is a stupid idea, I can't do this. When you see how far today people go, and something that years ago we couldn't imagine being possible, today is reality. Don't hold back. When you think about yourself as a creative, don't hold back. Nothing is stupid and nothing is impossible. Today you can really like let go and try just to come up with new stuff on your own. So this is, if you want to take a picture of this slide, this is 10 different books that will make you creative. At least a bit. It's of course, each of us is different, so you might click with one book but not with another. That's why I selected 10 of them, and each of them is interesting in a different way, and I recommend it. It's really interesting to see how different creative processes works in different companies, different minds, different brains. All right, so yeah, this we don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this, and we don't. Now, so. Sorry? Yeah, we have to go. Otherwise, Martin is gonna kill me. So, just example. So, in our company, we love to visualize everything. So when a new client comes, we look at them, we look at their DNA, look at how they think, and we try to create a set of documents that we share with them, and we work with them through those documents. This is a script. This is one of our first scripts we created for Adidas for a whole day event. So The different pictograms means whether there is a show or there is a speaking on the stage, how big is the show, and whether it's a digital or it's with people. So once you create that legend, like you are able to see pages and pages, and you don't have to read. Idea is to remove reading from a lot. Because I know I love reading, but it actually consumes a big part of your brain capacity for translating symbols into meanings. You know? So when you can bring it to colors and bring it to shapes, it's always better. Another thing, this is interesting. This is a workshop that we do with people, but we are not able to do it here because we are too many, which is another script. In this script, we define our enemies. There are 3. In every event, the enemies are hunger, overload, and boredom. Anybody hungry? So these enemies can be eliminated through the script, and we have to think about it as we are creating the script. So what we do is we create these 3 lines. Above, of course, is different events, what happened through the day. This is a conference, and then there is 3 lines. One is catering, so at that line we look to see how much we eliminate the hunger. In the second one, multimedia, we see how much entertainment, how much like interesting things we put in, and also information, data, and then entertainment that is live acts, yeah, on the stage. And then you will be surprised because in every event and through the investment, you want to find the best place where to, I don't know, the GM should speak, or when you want to deliver the most important message. And most of the time, we do it wrong. Because when you really go through this script, you realize that time is not in the beginning and not in the end, you know, as we normally do it, like, and then the end. It's not. So it's interesting to see, and also to think about whether people traveled before, whether they had heavy food, and so on. So visualization. Okay, this was Avon Cosmetics. This was our plan for their 1-year campaign. It was a journey. There was a EIM, which is Entertainment Influencers Marketing, that Marco is going to speak about. Full bus of influencers riding the year, you know, and then through this we have same names for lines in budget, for all the other documents. It's just like all synced. No. Oh, yeah. And then one more very nice execution, which was animated GIFs that we did for launch of NMD Adidas Originals shoe that we also win the Best Product Launch award for. And it was just monitoring 12 influencers from their home to the place of a party where the shoe will be released. And we just sent a photographer and created the GIFs from it. 12 of them made a crazy reach and crazy engagement. And then there is 12 of them, but we don't have time for this, and this, and this. Yeah, and then there is, of course, lots of numbers and lots of examples. So now going to the Mercedes story. I switched to digital, so we can go there. So let's go for it.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. Normally we get more time.
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip to the JAD Digital division, where in a presentation we are trying to highlight like the 3 main products actually within the division. It's a video campaigns. It's pretty much campaigns that we did for L'Oreal, Adidas, Avon. But I will try to maybe more focus like on the rest too. Social content, as you see all over the social media today. We are actually trying to change the perspective and to look at it from the other side in a way of convincing our clients to actually spend 90%, pretty much 90% of a budget on a production and creative ideas, and not to spend half of a budget on boosting and like buying the media space. I will try to speak about it more actually in a Mercedes case, but we are focusing on organic reach. mainly on organic reach. So we are not trying really to spend money on in Facebook Manager and etc. If I'm gonna talk about EIM, entertainment and influencer marketing, that's something that we've developed with clients like Adidas Originals, Mercedes-Benz, L'Oreal, and some others. It's pretty much, just to make it short, it's pretty much changing approach to the so-called influencers marketing today, and willing to actually make it more personal, more about experience and emotions, and more creative. Why more creative? Actually, we love to connect people. So we love to connect people from different segments. We call it tribes, so different tribes, kings of the tribes, and to try to mediate some interesting projects between them that can maybe never go through their minds. So I'm really I can talk about it hours and hours. So if you're interested, we can talk about it more afterwards during the networking or during the drinks. And I will just skip this one. What's unique? That's what I said. Organic reach. This is actually the same what Yemi showed. And there are a lot of references that we can talk about, and case studies. Yemi, you want to talk about?
Go for
you
it.
want to go? Okay. Again, 8 minutes. Okay. Long story short, this was a really interesting project which we produced in London. Actually, Prague-based company came to us and they said, we want to launch a new data transfer app, or actually platform, which is a competition to WeTransfer. And we want to focus on creative minds, mainly on creative minds. So we've teamed up in London with a really interesting person called Steve Dixon, and we came up with a campaign 3 weeks before London Loop Awards ceremony, so-called, and we create the biggest urban gallery in the world. That means that we rented city lights, actually 80 city lights throughout the Soho and Shoreditch, and we exposed the blank poster who would say, send us via this platform called Loop GL, send us your artwork in 5 categories. It's photography, writing, design, what's others? Yeah. So five categories. Send it. If it's not going to be really offensive, we're going to post it on that satellite, making that the biggest urban gallery in the world. And afterwards, our professional jury will choose like last 50 pieces that we're going to give the awards on the very last day in the center of Shoreditch. Maybe I will show you the video. Yeah.
Loop is an intuitive file-sharing platform that provides collaboration in one space that we've long been yearning for. To introduce Loop to the world, we launched the biggest urban gallery in the world. We invited artists to submit their work and received over 5,000 submissions from more than 2,000 talented creatives. For 4 weeks, daily winners were showcased on 72 poster locations around London from Soho to Shoreditch. For 1,200 artists, the dream of seeing their very own art on the streets came true. The London Loop Grand Prix event was the climax of the London Loop Urban Gallery competition. At the event, we celebrated the successes of a talented group of London Loop winners.
And the winner of the grand prize is Anna Campbell.
The competition allowed London's art community to truly come together and collaborate in one space. But London Loop was only the beginning. What will happen next? Stay in the loop.
It's yours. Thank you. All right, so there was a lot of art. Now, what do you do when you want to sell a car? And Mercedes-Benz, you know, everybody consider it like a prestigious brand, luxurious brand, maybe something unaffordable. But then Mercedes came with an idea. We want to target people that we have never targeted before, people between 25 and 34 years old. And we don't really know the demographics, so can you come up with an idea? So we came with an idea and gave it a name. The name was the first ever 24-hour live stream game show from a car running across the country. It's a pretty long name. But it was not that difficult. So what we had to do is we took the car, take 12 different drivers, give each of them 2 hours, and let them ride around the country. Equip the car with 5 cameras, 4 inside, 1 outside, and give them a task, challenge. Each driver, each person, it was civilians, yeah, no influencers, civilian, have to pick up one celebrity or somebody, transfer from point A to point B, and listen to what we're gonna tell them. There is a like a mission control center, and we give them tasks. Now, because we love shows and we love, the missions were very, very interesting. So let's say you would come into a zombie forest, and there will be actual zombies, you know, and there would be a girl, and she would have to come out of the car in the midnight and take like a piece of paper, read what it is, and do another challenge. Or there was a guy who would have to jump from a bridge, you know. But we didn't force anybody to do anything. They could choose to do it or not to do it. Of course, safety was our big point. Now, why we reached such a good results? The car was, from the next month, started to sell 30% more than before, which is a huge success for a social media campaign that had no media space bought. Yeah, not even campaign for this game show was never launched before. We just placed everything on their channel, on Mercedes-Benz channel. There was two tweaks. This is just the social KPIs, so expectations. In the end, you will see what we actually reached. There were 2 tweaks. Tweak 1, we started Sunday and finished Monday, because Sunday is social media prime time, and Monday, people hate to be at work the most. So when you do, and we use the sun as a natural clock, so by the set of sun on Sunday, by set of sun on Monday, this was like the clock. And number 2, we delivered a type of experience that has never been delivered before, because you know when you call on your phone, when you drive more than 80 kilometers per hour in Czech Republic, it starts to, you know, if you do 120, it's the end. Now, we want to also broadcast HD picture. So we had to create a device, because in Le Mans, in a 24-hour ride, they have a plane, and they send microwaves. So the signal is straight. Well, we don't have budget for plane. So what we did, we created a device and filled it with 14 SIM cards, team up with T-Mobile, and created this new way how to stream HD even in high speeds. So we could even go into the circuit, the racing circuit, and still show live people. Now, why live? And this is coming back to the millennials. As you know, the most popular today is Insta Stories. Do you know that? That's why Facebook brought the Insta Stories. Everybody did it. They first stole it from Snapchat, and then they redo it in something else. So today it's like the Insta Stories. This is the platform when you have on social the biggest conversion. Now, why? Why do you think is that? Tell me.
Creates a sense of urgency, where it's only visible for like 24 hours.
Are you working there? No? Okay, sense of urgency, yes, because when we store our data in our hard drives, we know it's there. We don't have to look at it, it's there. But we know, when we know it's gonna disappear, we have to see it one more last time. I need to see it before it's gonna go. So it creates this sense of urgency. And because it's short, it fits our short time span. So what we did is we did that same urgency, just brought it into these 24 hours and created a show that cannot be repeated, that cannot be seen again. If you want to be part of it, if next time at school or at work you want to talk to your colleagues about how it was, did you see it, you need to be part of it. And then when finally you're part of it and you see the zombie in the forest, you're going to come back to know what happens the next day, right? Because in work you are bored. So this is... when I told you about creativity and how we approach these concepts, I show you 2 diagrams. This is a diagram how we prevent our employees to fight each other when we come to creative process. The thing is, because when I say, I have an idea, and you say, the idea is stupid, I'm going to be offended. But because I think you are offending my idea. But if you put it on the paper and you create kind of a filter that's going to decide which idea fits and which not, it's going to be taken away. It's not personal anymore, and you can easily work in an environment. So this is the type of filter where we describe the three things on the outside, and then the three things inside, which is quite difficult. You need to know the product, you need to know the target group very well, and then inside you have this filter, and you apply the filter to every idea that anybody has, and you get to the right point. Another one is another script. This script we call Amoeba. This is a 2-hour script. And why? Because in 12 hours, if I have a script, nobody's going to read it. Everybody's just going to be like, ugh. So we do this 2 hours because people love hook. You know, in the song, when there's hook, it comes back. How you say? Chorus? Or how you say? Yeah? Yeah, refrain. Yeah, refrain. So people love refrain. People love things to repeat it when it's repeating. So we created repeating 2-hour circle. That's going to happen. So come in the car, do the relay with the keys, see how the car is working, because it's very difficult technologically. It was fun just to see how people have first tried to make it work. Then they are driving for their passenger, and they ask, is it woman? Yes. She has long hair? No. She has 2 children? Yes. So this type of competition. Then the VIP is boarding. We look at them, how they are like, hello, who are you? Blah, blah. No, no. Then we do the same questions with the VIP, like bath or shower, coffee or tea, condom or not. And then we go for challenge. And the challenge is always something everybody is waiting for. It's the big thing that everybody wants to wait. You will see some of the challenges in the upcoming video. And then we leave the VIP, get it to their place, and then there is a little gossip minute. And that is, we call it wash the bag, you know, like, so how was she? Was she what you expected? Or, you know, so people like to, when the VIP is off the car, they like to like release their emotions, which was also a very funny moment. And then again, give the key, yeah? So this we were going for 24 hours. And this is how it all went.
Can they drive for 24 hours? Can we live stream them driving for 24 hours? But who would host the show for 24 hours? We gave a ride to the biggest stars in the country, 12 drivers with over 20 celebrities. Among them a presidential candidate, model, renowned economist, and the country's top chef. This is me at the Mission Control Center. Did I mention we did this for 24 hours? Wait, did I also mention we did live performances throughout the whole trip? And did I say we were the first in the world to do this? Of course, we gave prizes and the car to one of the 1.2 million unique social media accounts this event reached. That's more than the number of students in the whole of New York State, by the way. 62,000 people communicated with us, played and won prizes throughout the show. But the biggest prize was ours. This event generated increase of Mercedes-Benz YouTube followers by 500%, 67 videos to be used for the next few months. Hours of authentic content from premium influencers. And hey, we're ready to do it again. Are you?
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful you didn't like whistle me out or something, because I know it was a big overload. It was a lot, but I want my trip here to be worth it, and I want your time to be worth it, so you can take as much as possible from this session. Do you have questions or disagreements? Anything that you want to know? I was told there is a Q&A in the end, but no? Everything is clear? Okay, so thanks a lot again, Marco. Thanks, Martin, for bringing us over. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.